Hello and welcome to Peoples OMODA JQ Falkirk. My name's Colin and today we are going to tell you all about this, the OMODA E5. And more than just tell you, we're going to show you what it looks like from the outside as well as inside, and then we're going to take it for a drive live on TikTok. My name's Colin. If you are just joining us, tell me where you are. I'm in sunny Falkirk. The sun is out. I'm absolutely roasting in this jacket, but it's good to be outside. Hello to people joining. Hello, Aiden. Yes. Hello, Bad Bay. Liz Caldwell. Fantastic stuff. Tell me where you are. I'm in Falkirk. This is just outside the town centre, nearly called Falkirk a city. Not quite yet. Give it a few years. Hi to everyone else who's joining us as well. Hello, Ahmad. Good to see you. This is where basically every Friday I'm here showing you whether it's the OMODA E5 like we're going to do today in a few minutes, or it's the JQ7, or it's the Ford Capri. Every Friday, going live, showing you one of the cars that you can test drive for yourself at Peoples OMODA JQ or Peoples Ford. And that comes here in Falkirk, or in Edinburgh, or in Liverpool. If you have just joined us, welcome. We're going to show you this car over here, the E5, which is different to the OMODA 5, which is also different to the JQ7, which we've reviewed and previewed in previous weeks. If you are just joining us, we're about to go over and have a look at the car. But thank you very much for all of you who are stopping by, saying hi. I'm Colin, and let me know where you are in the world. I'm in glamorous, glorious Falkirk. The sun is out. It's a Friday, so we're feeling good. We're feeling good. All right, let's go and show you this OMODA E5. Now, first of all, it comes in 7 different colours. This is in the white, of course. I think it looks fantastic in the white. You also get it in the grey, in black, in blue, red, and silver. We're going to start at the rear of the car. Now, I really like the OMODA E5, mainly because of the shape, particularly at the back, but then also the grille at the front. And the first thing that I've noticed, because the key is in my pocket, this particular car, but also in the OMODAs and JQs as standard, it will unlock as you approach it, which is great when you've got your hands full of shopping. So this is the back of the car. I really, really like the curved shape of this. It's very distinctive on the road, and this is particularly noticeable around the taillights. Let me know what you think. This is the OMODA E5. Hi Brad, hi Zed, hi Sam. The OMODA E5. It's an SUV, if you're wondering. It comes and it looks like this, which is really, really nice. Let me show you around the front. You can see more people joining. We're here in Falkirk. Let me know where you are. How much is it? Says Rab. This is available, best offer at the moment, PCH 308 per month, or via PCP. If you buy the OMODA E5, you have the option of either a free home charger and installation, or £900 charging credit. So PCH 308 per month, or PCP with your free charger installation at home, or £900 charging credit. The best place to go, Rab, is peoplesomoda.co.uk, and indeed come and take it for a test drive. Now, I did say the JQ7 is lovely. It is lovely. This is the J7. I'm just showing you this in the wide. We have looked at that in previous videos, previous lives. Today we're all about the OMODA E5, which similarly to the JQ does have a very striking front. Now there's vans approaching, so I'm going to avoid getting myself run over here. Just, that's it, keep going. There he is. All right, we've avoided getting run over. When's the J8 out? Yes. Oniu, I'm about to show you the interior. I want to show you the front of it first. This is different to the OMODA 5, which has a very distinctive beehive-esque grille. And you'll see here, this, as I'll show you in just a minute, this is where we're going to charge it, right at the very front. I can see some comments there. I've had the OMODA 5 Noble for a week. I love it. Just filled out the form for the free £500 fuel card. Fantastic. Demo. Got mine from Edinburgh. Yes. Rico, test drive this Sunday in the J7. Lovely stuff. Thank you, Rico. And thank you, Demo, for the comment. We are here in Falkirk, and now we're going to jump in, seeing as this road is getting nice and busy. So, First impressions, sitting into the OMODA E5. I'm going to take you in my hand here. I'm going to show you what you can see. Ooh, there we go. If you are sitting in the OMODA E5. Real hater. Any good deals in the J7 hybrid. Best place to go, Peoples OMODA JQ, and you'll find all the best deals there. Today my head is full of the deals for the OMODA E5. But the best place to go, yeah, find out peoplesomoda.co.uk or Peoples JQ as well. Right, here we are, inside the E5. This is what it looks like. I'm going to close the door as this is the... In fact, can my glamorous assistant close the door? Because I might not be able to reach it. Thank you. Glamorous assistant. All right, so this is what you're seeing when you're first sat inside the E5. We've got this 3D model on the screen, and then to my left here, I'm just going to make sure you can actually see what I'm seeing. This is a 12-inch touchscreen display. What I like about this, just on first glance, is that it's all very self-contained, because I've been in enough of these types of cars where there's bells and whistles and LEDs and screens and there's just far too much going on. With the E5, they've clearly noticed that, and they're very much keeping it nice and simple. So, on this main dashboard here, we're seeing how much charge we have left, 32%. We've got 86 miles left to go. I'm going to have this car over the weekend. I'm going to be filming some reels with it. I'm going to show you lots more about charging and about how you essentially make the most of the battery life here. So the range of the OMODA E5 is 257 at a full charge. Of course, it depends on how you drive it. If you drive it slightly more aggressively than I would, then of course the range goes down, but 257 is what we're looking for. So let's say we want to start this car up because it is getting very, very warm in here. This is something which is I've yet to experience in a car. The E5 does not have a start-stop button. All you do is put your foot on the brake, vehicle ready to drive. All right, and then we have our gear selector, if you can see it, is right here, reverse, neutral, drive, park. So in just a few minutes, we're going to put it into drive. We're going to take it for a drive around beautiful Falkirk. But we'll do that in just a few minutes' time. I'm going to take my foot off the brake and show you once again some more of the interior. Now here's another thing I really like about the E5, this lovely finish here. A couple of things about it. This is a lovely little container. This could be for keys, it could be for your valuables, which is nice. And then here, because one of the things as a coffee connoisseur, I did think, where's the drinks holder? They are there. What's going on with a mullet? It's not a mullet, it's a perm. Come on, man. Give me a break. All right, this is the cup holders. All comes back in a sliding fashion. There we go. So cup holders there, and most importantly for most of us, the charging. Wireless charging for your phone is right there. Or indeed, you just want to put your phone there and forget about it for a while, you can put it right there. Okay, Victoria just got the JQ. Dreadful tattoo. Thank you, Benj. I appreciate your honesty and your opinion. That's why it's my tattoo and not yours. Keen, will this car last 10 years of driving from new? So this car comes with a 7-year warranty and an 8-year battery warranty. So that's as good as close to 10 years. I mean, I've had my car for 3 years now, and it's already getting to the stage of me thinking, oh, I'm not sure this is going to last. But with the OMODA E5, if you have a 7-year warranty and an 8-year battery warranty as standard, it's a pretty good going for that. All right, J8 Bud, when's it out? I don't have the answer to that question. My head is full of OMODA facts today. But the J7, if you are interested, is just over there. That's the JQ7. Does Android Auto connect via Bluetooth? Yes, it does, Ross. Thank you for the question. I'm going to show you that. So if we tap over here, now I have an iPhone, but if you have an Android, both will work. There's your Android Auto, and there's your Apple CarPlay. So both are taken care of. If you've got an Android, if you've got an Apple, both are going to work with the wireless connection. So happy days. And when I do that, I'm going to avoid doing that because it's going to lose my microphone if I do. Basically, when I put the Apple CarPlay in here, it's going to take everything that should have been on my phone and put it on the screen. So that's things like your navigation, your music, even contacts if you need it. So everything that you need is right over here, as well as I pointed out, wireless charging. All right, we're going to jump into the back, and then we're going to take it for a drive and show you what it's like when we take it for a drive. And someone next to me, I believe, has just pulled up with the actual OMODA 5. Am I right? Yeah, it looks like an OMODA 5. Well, hey, right on cue. So that's the OMODA 5. and this is the OMODA E5. You can tell the difference very obviously, that striking grille of the E5. I think it's great, I love that. It's very, very distinctive. The E5 has replaced the grille because that is where we're going to charge it later on today. And if you want to see how that goes, make sure you're following the page and you'll get to see it for yourself. All right, we're going to jump in the back. Or are we going to jump in the back? I think it's time to take it for a drive. Let's take it for a drive, he says confidently, because these people have been waiting patiently for me to take it for a drive. So that is what we're going to do. All right, so I'll wait for my glamorous assistant to join me, because if I drive whilst I have my phone in my hand, it's very illegal. If someone else is holding it, then that is all good. Can you test drive it if you're 18, says Aidan. Yes, I'm being given the nod that yes, you can. And you can book your test drive, Peoples OMODA JQ Falkirk, which is where we are, Peoples OMODA JQ Edinburgh, or indeed the one in Liverpool as well. Thank you, Aidan. All right, flip the camera, says Noob. That's a very good question. Well, actually, Noob, I'm actually going to hand the camera off. So there'll be a way of flipping that if we need to. Or you can just hold it against the window. Because we're going to take this for a drive and see how it goes. Now, here's the fun fact. Flip your camera at the top. There we go. That's a glamorous assistant's face. Do the one above. That's it. One more. No. There we go. We flipped the camera successfully. All right. So, fun fact. I have yet to drive this car, so you are seeing this as a live driving experience. Only exclusives with Peoples OMODA JQ. All right. So we put the foot on the brake. We flip this down to D, and that should mean that we are off and running. Woo! Now, one thing I'm going to do first of all is put on some aircon, because if you've ever had to sit in a roasting hot car, it's very close to what this is beginning to feel like. Do we want it to be 29 degrees? Not really. So let's just drop that right down. Let's say 18. I imagine Glamorous Assistant would like it cooler as well. Thank you. Yeah, so this is, instantly much better. So much better. All right. And do I want some of that through the AC? Yes, I do. All right, so I'm feeling that coming through. Nice and intuitive. Thank you very much, OMODA E5. Already feeling cooler. And this is, now I can heat the seats, and I can also set some of this to automatic if I want the custom aircon, or if I want the system to basically figure out how cold do we want it. But I'm quite happy with that. So let's go back to focusing on driving the car, because that's what I really want to do. I want to show everyone what this looks like. All right, so we are going to take a short test drive. And welcome to the very first live of driving the OMODA E5. We're going to go left here outside of Falkirk once the traffic is clear. If my former driving instructor is watching, I'm doing all the things you told me to do all those years ago, I promise. If anyone has ever driven in Falkirk, you'll appreciate how busy this particular road is, but we are going to wait for a clear moment, and then we're going to pounce. This is where you can see here I'm being given the flash. Thank you so much. Beautiful stuff. We are off and running. I think the first thing that's very obvious is that because this is an electric car, it's nice and quiet. Rather than with some other cars that I've driven, as soon as you put your foot down, you have to start raising your voice. Completely unnecessary in the OMODA E5, because it's electric. The petrol engine that can often make quite the racket is nice and quiet. The only thing I'm hearing really is the aircon, because otherwise I'm going to get very sweaty, and that's going to look very poor on camera. So we're going to head to Callendar Park. If anyone is in Callendar Park, come say hi. I'm also being told by the E5 that I'm driving a little bit too fast. That's absolutely fine. That's what the car is there for. But we're going to take a big old right here. And what my assistant can do is they can show you what the car is there for. But we're going to take a big old right here. And what my assistant can do is they can show you what the car, when we come to a big roundabout like that. It gives me a 3D model, which just makes, particularly with parking, which I'll show you in just a few minutes once we get to the park, it just makes parking easier. I grew up driving, and my first ever car was a Vauxhall Corsa, which was older than me. Did it have a 3D model? Did it have reversing cameras? No, it did not. And so having something like that on the OMODA E5 just makes life so much easier. All right, we are coming up to Callendar Park. Beautiful park, particularly when the sun is out. And if you are in the nearby vicinity, feel free to come and say hi. We'll be there for a few minutes. We'll talk some more about the car, and then I will finish up by reminding you that you can come and test drive this for yourself at Peoples OMODA JQ, either in Falkirk, where we are today, or in Edinburgh, or in Liverpool. Really does depend where you live. Although if you want to take a drive to Liverpool, be my guest. We've done that a few times with Peoples, and it's always an enjoyable drive, particularly when you have a car like this, which is nice and smooth, it's nice and quiet. All right, so here we are, heading into the park. I imagine that the park will be somewhat busy, considering the sun is out, but we're going to find out. One thing I really like about this, I mentioned this when I was giving the interior tour, is everything is self-contained just in these screens. It's not just this one screen in front of me, which makes life so much easier rather than having to worry about heads-up displays or the next thing. We're going to go straight on, aren't we? Yes, we're going. Because this looks like we're heading to... There we go. We're going to park this and show you what happens when you go to park the E5, which of course you can see for yourself if you book a test drive, which I would encourage you all to do. It looks like some of you in the comments already have booked a test drive, which is brilliant. If you're yet to, you can win tickets to the EPCR Cup Final, which is rugby. For you rugby fans out there, fancy going to Cardiff and watching a rugby match, then that is how you're going to do it, by booking a test drive. All right, how are we doing for space? Are there spaces? Is there space? What do you think? Isn't that one a win? Or is that going to be... No, I'm getting a shake of the head. How about here? Because I know we're going to be in this person's way, but we're not going to be here for long, are we? All right, so what I'm going to do here is demonstrate what happens when we put on the reversing cameras. So, there we go. Flipped it up to reverse. You get to all see just how this works in the E5. Reverse it like so. Of course, I'm having to watch my surroundings, make sure that we are crashing into anything. All right, that looks good to me. Going to go back to drive. There's my front camera. Looking good, but now we're going to reverse park this. Just so easy with the E5. Once again, flip it up to reverse. This is the first time I've driven this car. So before any comments say, yeah, you've driven this before. No, I have not. This is the very first time I've driven this car. And it's nice and easy. Once again, flip it up to reverse. This is the first time I've driven this car. So before any comments say, yeah, you've driven this before. No, I have not. This is the very first time I've driven this car. And it's nice and easy. Now, before anyone comes in and says, hey, you're going to block that red driver. I know, but we're just going to sit here for only a minute or two, because I wanted to demonstrate how this thing drives. Nice and clear. It might give me a wee bit of a beep as I get closer to the edge here, because it anticipates, yeah, you might hit something, but that is looking good to me. Hey, all right. And then with the OMODA E5, there is a button for parking it. It's right over here. So I click this. We have now parked. And then with the OMODA E5, there is a button for parking it. It's right over here. So I click this. We have now parked. Now we could go and venture into Callendar Park, but it's a very different type of drive. So we're going to do now successfully parked it. Let's head back to Peoples OMODA JQ, where, if you indeed have seen or have loved what you've seen so far, Peoples OMODA JQ, where, if you indeed have seen or have loved what you've seen so far, you can book for yourself of the E5 and see exactly what it's like to drive Peoples OMODA JQ, where, if you indeed have seen or have loved what you've seen so far, you can book for yourself of the E5 and see exactly what it's like to drive Park is very busy. I can see this. People are pouncing on spaces. Let's first. Claiming their territory. That's it. You claim it. Well, no, she did not give me a wave. How disappointing. All right, we're going to head back to the dealership. We've been here in Callendar Park very momentarily. First of all, how easy this car to drive, but also how easy it is to park. I know it's the bane of some people's lives. My mother, for example, absolutely hates reverse parking, but that's because she has yet to drive a car with cameras, with sensors. And I'm sure if she did, just like this one, the E5, she'd be a convert. She'd understand, okay, this is much easier when you have a car like this. And indeed, if you have enjoyed what you've seen so far, I'll give you one final tour of the exterior once we've parked up. You can book a test drive. A reminder, the E5 is available, PCH 308 per month. This car has a range of 257 at full charge. You can get it from 30% to 80% in just under half an hour. I'm gonna avoid talking to the camera too much more because I am a roundabout. And there's the Polis. Perhaps I've been sent to monitor my driving. Okay, any moment now we're gonna move through this roundabout. It is very busy today. And head back to the dealership where indeed you can book your own test drive of this OMODA E5. This is what happens when you have to sit in live traffic. Sometimes the traffic's not going to sit in a bay for you. Oh, we might have an opening. No, not quite yet. Any moment now. All right, we're going for it. Heading back to the dealership, which is where you can book your own test drive. Now, are the Polis waiting? Are they wanting to go? No, it doesn't look like it. Nope. All right. Well, everyone can vouch for me. I was trying to be nice there, but they are just sitting waiting. We're going to take a left here, and as you can see, if we turn the camera around, this is Peoples OMODA JQ. You can't miss it if you're looking for it. Big, big signs. And that is where you get to drive this lovely car. And when you drive in, you'll see there's the JQ7, there's the OMODA 5 itself. And we're going to park up next to the actual OMODA 5, which I've already had the pleasure of driving. It's a very, very enjoyable drive. And indeed, this one has been excellent. I've really enjoyed this. Flipping over to the reverse camera, and we'll see, reversing cameras, I should say. Again, just how simple this is to park. Of course, I'm being told to watch my surroundings. Very important I do that. All right, we're somewhat there. I'm going to push myself out again. There's the front camera, which is looking really clear. I like that a lot. And then back we go, one more time. And there we go. We have successfully arrived back at Peoples OMODA JQ. Click the park button, and that is it. The thing about the OMODA 5, and I'll take this back again, once we decide or recognise. I can see Jamie saying Falkirk. Yes, correct, Jamie. Well observed. Well, hey, we're back in the face again. So, yes, this is Peoples OMODA JQ Falkirk. And of course, there are Peoples OMODA JQ Edinburgh. There's Peoples OMODA JQ Liverpool. If you want to come and test drive this beautiful car for yourself, I'm going to show you one more time how it looks like. Veteran saying, I can't believe how good these motors are. Am I right thinking they're part of BYD? I'm not sure. I know they're owned by Chery. Chery are a Chinese brand who own OMODA and JQ. Whether they own BYD, no, I'm getting a shake of the head. No, they're separate. However, you are right. These cars do drive very, very nicely indeed, and the price point's even better. As a reminder, today we've been driving this. This is the OMODA E5. It looks something like this. I'm going to avoid getting run over here. I'll show you around the side. It's an SUV if you're just joining us. Really nice stuff here, which automatically locks and unlocks as I'm walking away from it. And here is the back of the E5. There we go. It's very striking. I really like the fact that these taillights are quite so bulbous. They really do stick out. Very nice stuff indeed. All right, any final questions? What's the range? Says, I think Sean, sorry I'm squinting in the daylight. The range is 257 on a full charge. So basically, of course, it depends how you're going to drive it. If you're going to drive it economically, then you may get it even further. But yes, it says up to, the brand specifications is that it's up to 257. And you can get it from a 30% to an 80% charge in 28 minutes. There's currently over 70,000 public charging devices across the UK. There's more being added all the time. Okay, and I've also been pointed out that the JQ8, because some people had asked about it, is due to be coming in the second half of 2025. This over here is the, if I can figure out my mirrored camera, this is the JQ7. I've spent a lot of time with this car already. We did some lives with this car a few weeks back, but the JQ8 is on the way. I'm having to squint again. Do they do a twin motor version, Michael? They do a petrol version of the E5, which looks like this. I had this last week. I really like the front of it. I know some people don't, but to me, I think it's a thing of beauty. It reminds me very much of it's like a beehive, like honeycomb. I really like it, but yeah, this is the petrol version, and then that is the electric version. So, petrol, electric. And today we have been driving the E5. Looks nice, looks really nice. I really like it. And it's the price point that gets most people, because you get a car like the OMODA here, the OMODA 5, the E5, or indeed the JQ7, and people are astonished at the price you can get them for. If indeed you have been interested in the E5, you can book a test drive. Peoples OMODA JQ, we're here in Falkirk, very sunny Falkirk. Peoples OMODA JQ in Edinburgh and Liverpool. And if you take it for a test drive, you also are in with a chance of winning some Rugby Cup Final tickets. That is the European, the EPCR, I'm going to forget what it all stands for. But basically it's a very high profile rugby competition. It's like the Champions League or the Europa League of rugby. And if you take it for a test drive, you're in with a chance of winning these. All right, Ashley's saying I filled in the form to get in and speak about my options. I haven't heard back. That'll be one for the team who are watching this live. I'm sure they will follow up with you. And thank you again for everyone who has just joined us. This has been good fun. I've enjoyed this a lot. Can you show the JQ7, says L? I can give you a very brief showing of it, but what I would suggest you do, L, is if you head to our actual page, you'll see lots of reels. You can watch as many of those as you like. But yes, if you have just joined us, this is Peoples OMODA JQ. Today we have been looking at the E5, but if you want to find out more about this is the J7, the JQ7, which is, I really like it. I took this for a test drive about a month ago. I had it for a whole weekend. Really, really enjoyed it. This is a petrol version, but also comes in a hybrid. Or in fact, this might be the hybrid version, and the petrol's over there. But no, the JQ7 is really, really nice as well. You can test drive that if you wish. All right, final questions before I head off. I'm going to take this for the weekend, and I will report back with more. All right, final questions before I head off. I'm going to take this for the weekend, and I will report back with more real. Would you say it's the same size as the Evoque? I think it's very similar. It's certainly, that's the impression a lot of people get, is that the JQ, I mean, look at the size, it is pretty big, isn't it? The alloys I know are 19 inches. We also have, let's see, how do you turn on the lane charging safety? Or turn off, says Kieran. Yes, there's it's settings. It's always buried in the settings. I know that some of these cars, particularly modern cars, they have the option to basically drag you back into the lane you're in. And I've also been told, if I can see that one more time from my glamorous assistant, the JQ7 is available for from $390. That is this car over, not this one. This one, there we go, that's the JQ7. That is available from $390 per month. $390 deposit, $390 per month for the JQ7. And then this one, which is the one we've been looking at today, this is the OMODA E5, and that comes in BCH 308. And again, if you want to test drive it, Peoples OMODA JQ, do what I've done today, except you can drive it further than Callendar Park, which was just a short distance away. All right, let's see. Anything on? Kieran, I would say the manual or online is the best way to do it, because there definitely is a way of turning off the safety lane. Obviously, good feature to have. Must put in that disclaimer. But if you want to turn it off, there is a way of doing it. Okay, the miles to the gallon on the OMODA. Look, it depends how you drive it. I know some people find the miles per gallon on any car challenging if they put their foot to the floor. But because this is the electric, mirroring my image here. Because this is the electric E5 with a range of 257 at a full charge, that is, in terms of an electric vehicle, very, very good. There's over 70,000 charging devices across the UK. There's more being added all the time. And you can get from 30 to 80 in just under half an hour. All right, on that note, it's time to end this live. Thank you very much for everyone who's watching. I've been Colin. This has been Peoples OMODA JQ, live from Falkirk, but we're here in Edinburgh. We're also here in Liverpool. If you want to test drive either the car I've been driving today, which is the E5, or just the OMODA 5, which is the petrol, or indeed the JQ7, you can do by heading to any one of our dealerships. All right, thank you everybody. We'll see you again next week. Bye-bye.